around. So you see this little flap back here. That's why I have this zipped down. Usually this is zipped up, but we want to make it easy for you to see. So let's say he's riding his adventure bike. He just crashed. He's fine. His bike's fine. He wants to keep going and be able to have another deployment. That can be done in seconds. So what he has to do, he has to unzip this. He undoes this Velcro. He'll turn it off right here. He undoes this little strap here. Whoops, I can't, oops, sorry. So he basically undoes this connector, unscrews this canister, puts in a new one, reconnects it, and he goes about his way. He could crash again. This is a little clip that holds in the airbag container, so it just clips in. So this one is a single deployment. Let's say you ride off-road, you're gonna crash a lot. That system right there has 2 canisters in it. So let's say he's riding, he crashes, it deploys, he gets back up, he can ride and crash again within 2 minutes if that's what happens. And then at that point, he can change out the canisters, put new ones in. They are, I have one right here. This is the size, so you could easily put them in a backpack. They're about $100. And these systems range from $400 to $1,000, depending on what kind of riding that you want to do. And then servicing, he can crash up to 6 times before it has to be serviced. So he can change canisters. When you're crashing on the street 6 times, there's other things that are wrong. But this, at least, if he's gonna ride this in an adventure sense, he's probably gonna crash a lot more. But after 6 crashes, he sends this to us. You can see the air bladder itself, it's right here. Going to see that peeking through. We'll change that out, and we'll also change out the canisters for him. So some people might say, this is an air, doesn't this get hot? Yes, it can be, but there's a lot of materials that are very thin, very breathable. Even the air bladder itself, you can see, once you turn it to the side real quick. So you see that little hole that's right there on the side? So there's many of these breathable holes that are built into the bladder itself, just to let as much air pass through as possible. Because we want this rider to be comfortable. We want the rider to feel, cooler, especially when you're riding in hot conditions, because usually you're not riding in super cold conditions, but if you're riding in somewhere where it's really hot, you want to have as much breathability as possible. How much does it cost to service this if he's crashing 6 times? So about $300. You send it to us. We go through the system, make sure all the sensors are working fine, change out the airbag, change out the canisters, and we send it back to you. There's a motocross system for those people that ride motocross. This is kind of like an everyday rider. He can ride commuting, he could do adventure, he could do track riding. So every system will have a different discipline depending on what the rider wants. So at that point, does anybody have any questions about this technology, or who knows what questions you might have? Does anybody? Yeah?
You also have for the legs.
So his question, do you have anything for the legs? So within the lineup here, Tech Air 10, this one goes all the way down to the hips. So let's say you crash and you hit your hips on the ground, the airbag comes all the way down to here. So the airbag protection doesn't go all the way down the leg. Just in our analysis of crashing, like for the most part, most of the injuries are in here. Because a lot of people wear knee braces or knee protection in the pants, so a lot of the injuries are in the hips. Any other questions?
Are there any components of the canisters that can be reused?
So canisters cannot be reused. So only part of the canister in my pocket. Well, you just send these in and we get them replaced.
Are those plastic or are they metal?
They're metal. So in here is argon gas. So you can buy these from us for about $100. You just kind of change them out as you can and send it back.